Well, it's about that time. It's Saturday morning. We have to check in with the one and only Michele Cummins because it's time for the Cummins Real Estate Group show. My name is Curtis Pope. Good morning, Michele.
Good morning, Curtis Pope. How are you?
I am doing well. You survived the hot days this week. It was a little warm.
Oh, gosh, I love it. I mean, I've got a favorite temperature of mine, but I love it all. I'll take it all. Bring it on.
It's easy to forget that you're a Southern California girl, and this is nothing new to you.
Yeah, but you know what? I love the winter snow. I love the different seasons, and that's why I love living in the Fraser Valley. You get, like, every season, which is so fantastic, and I just really love soaking it all in every single season. So I'm soaking in the summer as much as possible, and I get to go camping overnight for this. I'm just so excited. It's been 15 years since I've been camping, Curtis.
You're going camping.
15 years.
Wow, that's a long time. I can't remember the last time I went camping. Has it been in the last 15 years? Yeah, I've gone camping in the last 15 years once or twice, but I like to camp. My wife doesn't, so it kind of makes it difficult to get camping.
Well, maybe because you need a really nice trailer, because, tenting, no. I think we don't need tenting anymore in our lives.
No,
we're old for that.
I would agree, but my wife's idea of camping is a 3-star hotel room.
Oh, she's smart. No,
yeah. Even a trailer, she's like, I don't want to pack all my stuff up from home to go somewhere else and unpack it all again. That's how she looks at it. I'm like, but you can go fishing and hiking and do wonderful things in the forest. She's like, hey, camping's a 3-star hotel room. Like, touche.
Well, it took me a long time to decide, because I used to go camping with tents, but mostly I would just sleep in the back of whatever vehicle I had, so the bears wouldn't get me, and the wild lions and tigers and, bears. And it was fine. It was perfectly fine. I mean, Richard and I had a whole 31 days around the United States in our General Lee in the middle of summer in August with black leather seats, and we only slept 6 of the 31 days in the bed, and otherwise it was in the back of the General Lee and in hayfields. That's what we did. And so, I don't know. I loved it, when I was a little younger and everything, and it's fine and all. But you know what? I really like my bed now and, having a kitchen and a bathroom.
Yeah. Yeah, I would tend to agree. And, it was great when my kids were younger and they'd want to go camping. But now none of them, well, Cody would probably go camping. But the other two were like, I'm not going camping. What's wrong with you?
What is camping? Glamping. It's glamping.
No, you see, Cody, he's like me. He'd want to go out in the middle of nowhere where there's a good lake and get fishing and stuff like that and be as far away from people as possible, like serious camping, where the other 3 members of our family, they want a pool, they want a shower, a bathroom, the whole bit.
Don't you love the different personalities? It makes life so adventurous and so fun.
If I were to go to my daughter, who's going to be 16 in December, and say, hey, we're going camping, I would get that look that teenage girls have where they look at you like you're the dumbest thing on the planet.
Yep.
I would get that look from her.
Oh, just do it. Try it.
I'll do it, and I'll record the reaction so you can see.
Fun. Oh, my goodness. Well, you know what? It's about time. I think I'm just going to bring my metal detector and maybe do some metal detecting, some hiking. I don't know. I haven't been camping. What do you do camping? Richard will bring his guitar. I'll bring, my harmonica.
There you go.
Never played.
You could bring your guitar. You got your Paisley guitar.
Yeah, my electric Paisley. I'll bring that camping.
Well, exactly. It'll be kind of quiet. You're not going to hear much of it.
Yeah, true. Okay, so there's some dates to remember I wanted everyone to know. And this Wednesday, if you love waking up bright and early, there's a Zoom meeting with a special speaker, Corrine Jansen of Fraser Valley Essential Staging. So it's from 6:30 to 8:30 a.m. You can literally make your coffee and sit in your PJs. But now the market has shifted, and it is important more so now than a long time that sellers really stage their properties for photos and video and media so they stand out amongst the rest of the other listings. There's more listings now than we've seen in 2 decades, and the competition is completely fierce, and the buyers have more to choose from than they've had in years. So if you're thinking of selling or you just want a new look for yourself, You don't want to miss this Zoom live event this Wednesday, the 24th from 6:30 to 8:30 a.m. It's totally free and easy. And just contact myself for the Zoom link. I'll email that to you, and I'll be there too. So hope to see you there bright and early this Wednesday. And another date to remember is we've got a sellers seminar. It's going to be September 15th. That's a Thursday evening at 7 p.m. Another Zoom live event. Contact me for that link. And that is specifically how to sell in today's market. So again, if you're thinking of selling, how do you sell the best way possible in today's market? Because it's shifted, it's not shifting anymore. It is completely shifted now. So very important dates to remember. The third important date to remember, September 30th. Now, this is a National Day for Truth and Reconciliation. We brought it up last year on the show to make sure that everyone knew about the date. Why do we bring it up regarding real estate? Well, if you're buying or selling, you've got to make sure your closing dates don't fall on this date. National locations are closed on that day. So that means land titles. So it's Bill C-5, which was proclaimed in June of 2021, and it's a law recognizing the history and lasting effects of Canada's residential school system and honors Indigenous survivors, their families, and communities. So it's representing one of the recommendations of the Truth and Reconciliation Commission. So this statutory holiday applies to all federally regulated public and private workplaces, and that's including banks, airports, Canada Post, land title. So that's why it's important to make sure if you're closing on a transaction, make sure it's not on that date. So those are some dates to remember. Now, some information. I mentioned that the market is no longer shifting. It has shifted. That's just a mindset for sellers to have and for buyers to understand and know. So the last time sales were this low, it was the year 2000. Chris, do you remember 2000?
Well, I try not to because that's when I graduated from broadcast school and that's when I got married.
In the year 2000?
Yes.
That is so neat. Okay, wow. Well, that was the sales were the lowest that time, and that's right after the 2018 correction.
Mm-hmm.
And before that, it was in the 1980s recession when sales were as low as they are now. Now, not prices. I'm not talking prices. I'm just talking sales. So important to know. And some other interesting information. We got kind of a cornucopia. Did you call it that?
Yeah, it's a cornucopia episode. We've done a couple of these in the past as well, where you've just had a whole bunch of odds and ends and tidbits for us.
So much good information right now. And, last week we had replayed an episode, and I love doing these live every week. So I know we try to do that. And so we got lots of information to talk about. So, bucking a national trend, Metro Vancouver, July housing starts fell 28% compared to a month earlier. And that's according to the latest data from the Canada Mortgage and Housing Corp, which is CMHC. So meanwhile, Vancouver area residential sales through the multiple listing service were down 22.8% in July from June. So that's sales. And that's reported from the Real Estate Board of Greater Vancouver. So with 28% lower housing starts, you think there's going to be a little bit of an issue with housing compared to people needing housing? I think so. And that lends to what some economists and people are saying about how the market will end up rebounding. It's not going to be the whole falling, what's happening now forever or for long even. So Surrey Strata, this is another interesting information I wanted to share. Surrey Strata, there's a dispute over smoking, and it's going to cost this owner more than $13,000 in fines and legal expenses. Can you imagine, Curtis? $13,000 in fines for something?
Well, that would be enough reason to quit smoking, I think.
Exactly. Smoking's expensive.
Yeah, especially when the Strata nails you for $13,000.
Yeah. Thank goodness we don't smoke.
Exactly.
I'll just have a little cigarella like twice a year, events, special occasions. But, I'll only take like 3 puffs and I don't inhale.
No, I used to smoke the odd cigar too, but I haven't done that for years, so.
Oh, I love the smell of a good pipe and cigar. I love the smell of it. So talking about that more. So that's, okay, the moral of the story. $13,000, don't smoke where you aren't supposed to.
Yeah.
Moral of the story.
That is definitely a good moral of the story there. That's for sure.
So one more little information here. Okay, who makes more money than developers? Can you guess?
Real estate agents.
Curtis, that's not true. And that will be our next episode. Where does real estate commission go? I am going to have an episode on that because people don't know. Hey, that's a good one. I'm going to mark it in my calendar. Okay, so who makes more money than developers? So we have all heard how developers are so greedy, right? But ever wonder who makes the most money on a real estate development? Well, local, provincial, and federal governments. That's who. Not the developers. So according to CMHC, fees and charges accounts for 20% of the price of a new condo apartment. Want the proof? You got to check out the CMHC, which confirms government costs raise new home prices in the Western Investor. I advertise a lot of my commercial listings in the Western Investor, and they are a great source of really good information. And you can go to my website to check out the link, or just Google Western Investor, and maybe you can Google the thing about developers and this CMHC report. So to go on with that, the report, it states a typical developer's profit on a new condo project is estimated at between 10% and 15%. So it seems to me that if the various governments want to really improve affordability, well, they could lower and cut costs by different ways. The federal government could raise the GST threshold or eliminate it for the first-time home buyers. The provincial government could raise the threshold for first-time home buyers to $750,000, which all the states need to understand where prices are at and how hard it is for first-time home buyers. So only up to $750,000. That's not even the average or median price of a home in the Fraser Valley or Chilliwack. Matching that threshold for PTT or PPT, which is the property transfer tax exemption on the new home construction, and local governments could give property tax relief for first-time home buyers. Like, these are ways that they could actually make it a bit more affordable. So there you have it. That is some information, and I know we got to go on break.
Yeah, we got to take a quick break here. We will come back, though, but people probably want more information about, well, the seminars you were talking about and your listings and things like that. Where can they go?
MicheleCummins.ca.
We are back with more right after this. And we are back with segment number 2 of the Cummins Real Estate Group show with local rockstar realtor Michele Cummins and myself, Curtis Pope. Now, Michele, I think we should probably let the listeners in on something here. This is kind of cool. We finally got the okay. We're bringing you back in the studio.
Yay! Oh my gosh, that's going to be so fun.
It is going to be fun. We even have these fancy like little ring lights so that we can, do the video in the studio and try to like look like we're well lit and like we know what we're doing.
We're going to look pretty in the studio?
Well, you will. I will not. I'm still going to look like me, but we'll do our best.
I think we need like a GoPro. I have one. Or something. We're going to have, I want to video us in the studio. Oh, it's going to be so great having that every week. Back in the studio. I'm ready. Next week, here we come.
Yes, it should be a lot of fun. I mean, I don't get a lot of guests anymore. I'm not used to people being around. It'll be odd, but it'll be fun.
Do you forget what I look like?
I sort of remember.
Not when you pass by my big billboard every day.
Yeah, and I do on my way home most days. So, yeah. Oh, yeah, that's what she looks like. Right. I remember her.
Do I still look like that? Well, I got some blonde in my hair now on the bottom.
Oh, it's blonde, not gray. Okay. I mean, I'm just kidding.
I'm not that old. Okay, so on to that real estate information and not gray hair. So,
well, if you have gray hair, we know who causes it.
Oh, that's for sure.
Well, actually, I would be in there, too, and probably BB. There's a long list of people that would be giving you gray hair.
Not my little cat, BB. He would never give me gray hair. So, news in other areas surrounding the Fraser Valley. So, Victoria, they're going to ban the use of natural gas fossil fuels in new buildings by 2025. Wow. Think of that. So the city of Victoria is banning the use of natural gas and fossil fuels in all the buildings. So it's a bold move to accelerate the city's climate action plan. Amidst raised concerns about climate change, Victoria's council voted to enact new BC Building Code carbon pollution standards that will require all new construction be zero carbon by July 2025. This is about 5 years ahead of the anticipated provincial requirements expected to be announced later this year. Buildings account for nearly half of all greenhouse gas pollution generated in the city, said the mayor, Lisa Help. So she says each new building will last more than 50 years, so raising the bar now is critical to meeting our long-term climate goals and to preparing the taxpayers of the future to have less climate-related costs down the road. After declaring a climate emergency in March 2019, Victoria is aiming to reduce its community greenhouse gas emissions by 80% by 2050. It estimates that the pending change to new buildings will remove up to 7% of those emissions. Victoria is one of the first municipalities in British Columbia to make all new construction zero carbon pollution and accelerate the transition away from fossil fuels for water and space heating. If you think about, I believe it's 2035 or 2032, they want to also make all gas vehicles. They're not going to be able to sell them anymore, and will all be electric. I think it's 2035, something like that.
Something like that, I believe. I think you're right. Yeah.
Yeah. So they're working towards all of this. Everyone is, but Victoria is the first one for this. So buildings are just one of the industries Victoria is looking to revamp and drive down emissions. And the city is also planning to changes to municipal operations, waste, and mobility sectors as well. So some more information. There's a pre-sale condo buyer, very skeptical. There was a news report about it, and it's about this Coquitlam building. So in Coquitlam, and it's not the only one, though, not the only building, not the only buyer concerned, but this Coquitlam building specifically has been stalled for 3 years. And so think about putting 10% down on a new home pre-construction and thinking, oh, you're going to move into it in a year or two, and it ends up being 5 years later down the road. I mean, that's a lot for any buyer to take, especially with the interest rate changes that are happening, because you can't get pre-approved so long in advance. You only get pre-approved for that mortgage that you're going to get on that new pre-construction when it's closer to the completion date. So, there's going to be a lot of changes, and there's a lot of issues surrounding the interest rates going up so high, so fast, and what's happened through COVID with shutdowns, for example, for developers. It's not that it's not their fault. The red tape from the government, from the provincial, municipal governments. And so waiting for those permits, waiting for the approvals. And there's been changes through the COVID shutdowns that has made it difficult for a lot of developments to be on target. I mean, we've all heard about the service, the providers, the actual materials that you can't even get. It's been a huge issue. So the BC Financial Services Authority, which oversees different financial sectors, has a lengthy checklist of what to watch for and how to ensure provincial safeguards under the Real Estate Development Marketing Act that protects pre-sale buyers, deposits, and other aspects of the sale. For instance, a personal situation I had was I bought 2 pre-sales in a project in Abbotsford, and maybe a year or so ago, they actually gave back all deposits to all purchasers and said, we are not doing this development anymore. So there's that potential to happen to somebody, and there's the potential of the delays and the delays and the delays in the development, even starting to break ground. So it's important to work with specialists who can explain the disclosure statement, because it's the disclosure statement that comes out every time there's a change. The developers send that to you, the buyer, and if you had worked with an agent to help you purchase that pre-sale, they send it to your agent. And it is very important to understand the contract of the purchase and sale when you go to purchase from a developer, and also the property or the disclosure statement from the developer. Very important. So if there are parts you don't understand, you really should ask your realtor and should have a lawyer review it. There is an amazing lawyer right in the heart of our Abbotsford, and they actually walk you through it and can help you understand it. Same thing with titles. If you don't understand the titles of properties you're purchasing, they will make it understandable to you. So, kind of watch out. Understand that, you put down a large deposit on these pre-sales, but you got to know the black and white in the contract to purchase and sell and what the developers are able and legally able to do, such as these delays if there's unforeseen circumstances. And so I wanted to ask, are you or someone you know looking for a house in the Fraser Valley that's under 600,000 range? I mean, can you imagine a detached property that is a rancher and it's nice and clean, a single garage, even a garage, access to an indoor pool, a sauna, jacuzzi, and access to a river that streams out into a large lake? Can you imagine that being in the 600,000 range in the Fraser Valley?
No, that's a unicorn. It doesn't exist, Michele.
I have that unicorn. And you just contact me today for it. It's serious. I'm serious. And it is awesome. And it's got private views and a big backyard. Contact me today if you or somebody you know wants that. Okay, so I also have a land assembly in Chilliwack. These are 5 properties all together to make a beautiful multi-family space. If you're a developer or if you're an investor, you can either hold on to it or you can build up now. It's a block of perfectness for development. It's in a great area of Chilliwack. You can contact me about that one too. And, oh my goodness, so 2 nights ago, I had a sneak peek of a soon-to-come listing in Brookswood. Brookswood. My uncle lives in Brookswood. My brother, sister-in-law, Brookswood. I started my real estate career right in the heart of Langley, and oh my goodness, Brookswood. Brookswood is such a beautiful area of Langley, and I got to walk this property, and it's over 12,000 square feet, flat, fully usable land with a great, fully fenced backyard. It's a renovated house with 5 sheds. 5 sheds and a workshop for cars and boats you can work on, your bikes, whatever you want. And it's got an above-ground pool, and it's heated. And, I mean, doesn't want a pool in this kind of weather we've been having? And it's an entertaining-style house. It literally is for entertaining. It's so great, and it's gorgeous. Huge trees, you can imagine. So you can contact me about that. It's not on the market yet, and I just got to walk through it a couple nights ago. But I have it coming soon, which is actually going to hit the market Wednesday at the latest. And this one is in Mission off Green Place. It's adjacent on 2 sides of the property of all green, lush park and protected green space. And it's so private views. It's got a fully fenced backyard, and it's a basement entry house. It was built in 2011. It's roughed in for a suite, and really all it needs is a kitchen. That's it. And it would be a perfect blended family home for somebody who wants to live with their parents or kids, or or it can have great rental income for the suite as well. It just needs a kitchen. That's it. And all the views from the downstairs is all just green trees. It's gorgeous. And the listing price for that is $1.1 million. So that's a coming soon listing. Oh, and I've got a rental for Dan Lang with my Remax Little Oaks, my property manager. There is a rental, a 3-bedroom home in Agassiz right now available with a large, fully fenced backyard, a deck, new flooring, all new paint, and it's got a wood-burning fireplace, and it's a really nice place, beautiful views of Mount Shiam, gorgeous, and you can walk to town, walk to the parks, and there's also, I know of a 2-bedroom suite that's available, and it has a fully private fenced backyard as well, and I know he has that just came up for rent as well. So if you're looking for a rental, there you go. You can contact Dan Lang from Remax Little Oaks Property Management, or Ethan Lang. And so some open houses I wanted to talk about this weekend. I mean, it's a beautiful weekend to go to open houses. And I've got what I call an organized extravaganza, an open house extravaganza I put together. It's in Harrison Hot Springs, and it's with 7 properties. This is so fun. We're all going to have little snacks at each of them. We're going to have a giveaway of a $50 gas card to the buyer who goes to all 7 homes. No, I think we're going to limit to if you go to at least 3 of the 7 homes. The event is on my Facebook page, so check it out. It has all the addresses and a map. And I've got a couple of my listings within that extravaganza, but there's 7. I've organized this with the other local realtors in that area, Harrison Hot Springs, to put all 7 listings on this self-tour, so self-buyers tour. So it's going to be a lot of fun. So go out there. It's So have a look at that on my Facebook page and check it out. You can download the map. And then I've got a townhouse in Surrey, and it's only $750,000. That open house is today from 1 to 3 if you're looking for a townhouse in Surrey. And I also got a detached character home in Chilliwack, and that one's at 9110 William Street, and that's tomorrow from 12 to 2. But just check out either my website or my Facebook page. It's all on there. You can look at previews of the photos and information. And then I'm going to share, if we have quick time, I want to share a new listing that's coming up. This relist, it's an acreage of over 3 acres in Sumas Mountain area of Abbotsford. It's off North Parallel Road, and it's $1,650,000. It's got 2 houses, over 3 acres, 2 houses, fenced, 2 gated entries. Again, only $1,650,000 right in Abbotsford. And so you can have a look at my drone video, walk through this beautiful, great property. I'm going to do a live Facebook walkthrough of it this week. So keep an eye out on my Facebook for that live walkthrough when I do that. And whether you're looking at selling or buying residential or commercial real estate, contact me anytime. I'm here to help. I wanted to end with a quote of the week and something to remember. So the quote of the week is, there's nothing so bad that it can't be worse. And a little bit of my quarter Irish in me, that's a little bit of an Irish quote for you. And remember, I'm here to unlock your real estate potential and do what it takes.
Very nice. Well, if people want more details about these open houses and these listings you were talking about, amongst other things, where can they go?
MicheleCummins.ca.